the King has finally made this unprecedented move. It's been described in much of the British press as the nuclear option, but given what had been leaking out just in recent months, let alone, that BBC interview he sat for in 2019, I might add that he did that voluntarily, and we all had now, then after that, this kind of benchmark to go back and check exactly what he said. And over the years, he's been proven to be a liar. He's essentially been hung by his own words, Jenna.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that the fact that, there was that Newsnight interview and then there's, like you say, the continual disgraceful allegations that were being aired in the press, not only about himself, but then also his former wife, or who knows what the status of that relationship is with the now Sarah Ferguson, also known as Fergie. The fact that they continued to lie, but then had these relationships with this revolting individual being Jeffrey Epstein just speaks volumes about character. And clearly this Prince Andrew has zero character at all, considering the way that he conducted himself in public. And then also when you see now all of the stories that are coming out both in mainstream media and also on social media about how Prince Andrew conducted himself in private with just members of the general public as well, was also pretty on the nose.
Yeah, I mean, it was absurd, some of that interview in 2019. It was absurd at the time. It's even more absurd now, saying he'd never met Virginia Giuffre. He didn't sweat. He was at Pizza Express. It was just a straightforward shooting weekend. It goes on and on and on. If it wasn't so serious, it would be absolutely comical. But just to really display what an odious man he is the accusations in the last couple of weeks is that he asked his private security, which is royal security, which is essentially paid by the taxpayer, to dig dirt on Virginia Giuffre, to help in kind of gaslighting her and selling her reputation. So in the eyes of the public, she doesn't look like a credible witness.
Absolutely. And I think that was probably one of the many nails in this coffin that has been built, like you said, since 2019. And also the fact that he's just completely tone deaf. Every single turn of this has been just a disgrace. I mean, as we saw over the weekend, the previous weekend, he said, look, I will leave Royal Lodge, his 30-room McMansion on Windsor Estate, if he can have 2 other royal lodges. And it's absolutely ridiculous. So the fact that this statement is so strongly worded about how he would be stripped for titles and honours and will now be seeking private accommodation, this really must sting for the prince that is literally just a Roald Dahl character.
You wrote this week as well that he was the Queen's mummy's boy, essentially. She was alive when these accusations came out. And I don't think it's an understatement to say that this has really shaken the royal family at a time where it is fragile anyway. You've got the Harry and Meghan saga. This Andrew saga has been one that has done so much damage.
Absolutely. And I think you would probably have to say that this Prince Andrew disgrace has probably been a lot more damaging than Harry and Meghan over there in California, because of just the absolute vile nature of all the accusations flying around. But the fact that, this does also lie at the feet of the Queen, may she rest in peace. But again, this just goes to show she did have a pattern of this type of behaviour. She had to be dragged kicking and screaming to actually confront issues that were impacting her family business.
Wonder what the Queen would think today, Jenna.
Yeah, mummy's boy, he'll definitely be praying hard today to her, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, he has got certainly the height of a rhinoceros, so let's see what happens today, whether he tries to negotiate his way out of this one, but he's simply known as Andrew for now. Jenna, thanks so much for your insights. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Laura.